Welcome to the Sci-Fi Center, the place to be, where comic books and wrestling collide magically. Movies, TV shows, and pop culture we share. Get ready to rock, we're here to take you there. From superheroes to aliens in outer space, we've got the latest news and reviews in our embrace. Turn on your screen, let the neon lights glow. We'll take you back to the 80s. Let's rock and roll. Sci-Fi Center, where the legends come alive. Get ready to geek out, let your imagination fly. We're diving into the past with a touch of modern flair. Sci-Fi Center, the ultimate pop culture lair.
Happy rare Monday. Like I said, got a little bit more energy now that I've my body clock is back on, to where it's normal schedule. So here I am doing a Monday. Like I said, these won't be regular, but like I said, I just felt the moment, and I texted Brad, hey, I think I'm gonna go on tonight. Welcome to Late Night with Sci-Fi Center. On a September 30th, the last day of September. October 1st is 11 minutes away, and it's still 108 degrees out here in Las Vegas, Nevada. I don't know what the hell is going on with the weather the last 2 years in this city. It's almost like I'm waiting for the arc. I'm waiting for the apocalypse. I'm waiting for the four horsemen to come through the crowd and say, you know what? It's all led to this. That's what the weather is leading me to. Please like, subscribe. If you are watching on Elon Musk land, come on over to us, youtube.com/Sci-Fi Center. We get nothing from Elon Musk when we go on that platform. So here you go, YouTube. YouTube is a business platform of Sci-Fi Center. Are you still in your generator? Is that you? Oh, okay. So it's still you. Okay. Hold on. Let me see. Yep, it's you. All right. Well, that's just one of the realities of the weather. So as you saw in the little presentation there, the second day in a row we have lost multiple legends in one day. Hall of Famer Dikembe Mutombo, who, like I said, I remember growing up watching as a kid, had the voice of Cookie Monster, kind of like me. I can relate. This guy was a blocking machine. If you put it up near the basket, there's a good chance this guy was going to knock it out of the sky. He passed away at 58 years old, way too young to be going. I did not know he was suffering from brain cancer until today. I didn't know he was ill until today. He did the ESPN commercial. A lot of people knew him for that ESPN Sports Center commercial where people were throwing various things, throwing things in the trash can, throwing things, and he was blocking him because that was his persona. That's what he did. I watched him play against my Lakers in the NBA Finals. He single-handedly, along with Allen Iverson, kept them in that series for as long as they could before they were overwhelmed by the Lakers. I think that was the only time he made it to the finals. He had another career moment when he became the first 8 seed. He played for the Denver Nuggets in 1994 to upset an overall number 1 seed in the Seattle Sonics in the 1994 playoffs. He had a lot of career moments. He was a legit Hall of Famer, and like I said, if you watch NBA, you saw him on broadcast, everything else. 58 years old. The other was Pete Rose, who I grew up knowing who the hell Pete Rose was. Pete Rose is, for most of my life, was mostly a manager in baseball. He played from 1963 to 1986, and then he went on to manage. But for the most part, I was a little kid, when he was playing for the Big Red Machine. But Pete Rose is the all-time hits leader. If you understand that what baseball is a numbers statistics sport, and getting hits is baseball. It is, it's one of the major things that you have to do to be able to win in baseball. No one, no one got more hits than Charlie Hustle. He was a three-time World Series champion in 1974, 1975. He was the anchor part of the Big Red Machine. And he went on in 1980 and won another World Series with Mike Smith in the Philadelphia Phillies. He then retired and went on to manage the Reds. Pete Rose has a checkered history. You can't bring up Pete Rose without bringing up the Pete Rose gambling on baseball and being banned from baseball. Here's the thing about Pete Rose, though. Fuck Major League Baseball. Fuck the MLB commissioner's office for the last 25, 30 years that this spanned all. Pete Rose is dead now. And here's what I found hilarious. Not even hilarious, but I found it kind of made me sick. The Baseball Hall of Fame Museum, which basically is the Hall of Fame, put this out. Let's see if I can get it to come up. All right, yeah, their Facebook page. So here we go. They actually have a Facebook page. All right, the Hall of Fame remembers Pete Rose, Major League Baseball's all-time hits and games played leader who passed away on Monday. Charlie Hustle won 3 batting titles, earned 17 All-Star game selections, and won 3 World Series. I wanted to punch my fist through the screen when I saw this. You're going to recognize him now. Pete Rose is dead. Regardless to how you feel about what he did as far as gambling, 4,000 hits is 4,000 hits. Most games played as an active player, these are things that are not up for debate. They're not up for opinion. They are part of baseball's history. And in spite denying Pete Rose entrance into the Hall of Fame, you're denying baseball history. Ty Cobb was a racist. Ty Cobb was one of the biggest opponents against the integration of Major League Baseball. Ty Cobb is in the Hall of Fame. Pete Rose broke Ty Cobb's record. If you go through the Hall of Fame and try to look for individuals and angels and saints, you're going to find some, but you're also going to find some historical people that are not. That are absolute pieces of shit, but their numbers dictate that they be in the Hall of Fame. If they never wanted him to actively participate in baseball again, that's fine. But in a landscape, in a world a sports world that is thriving on gaming, DraftKings and everything else, all gambling companies I've never even heard of are on the jerseys, they're on the field, they're running commercials. Pete Rose will not live to, if he ever gets inducted to the Hall of Fame, to be there when his bus gets voted. And I blame Major League Baseball on that. Bart Giamatti, Faye Vincent, the entire organization, the ban for Pete Rose for life was supposed to be conditional. He was supposed to be able to reapply. And they kept changing the rules so where he can never get back in. But once again, if you want to keep him out, if you want to keep him away, out from actively participating, being a coach, being an advisor, being anything like that's fine. But to not put him in the Hall of Fame while he was alive, when his career was more deserving of that, fuck Major League Baseball. And the Major League Baseball commissioner has a lineage of being a bunch of spineless pussies. Up to and including today, because Rob Manfred, listen, this is the guy when he caught the Astros were caught red-handed cheating in a World Series. They were cheating in a World Series. They were caught. There were penalties laid out. Jose Altuve, none of these guys that were involved in that paid anywhere near the price that Pete Rose. Pete Rose was banned. They fixed a World Series. He bet on baseball. They cheated in a World Series. Those men, all of those men on those teams are still playing today. The 2017 World Series that they cheated in, they can still call themselves champions on that one. The coach got fired, and a couple other guys got forced in retirement, but Pete Rose was banned for life for something right now that baseball, football, basketball are making billions on today. Pete Rose was never proven to cheat on baseball. Springer, Altuve, every one of those guys that were on that team in 2000, and they carried it on. They weren't caught till 2020. But Rob Manfred, can't even talk. The guy makes me sick just saying his name. Did nothing to those guys. He could have lifted the ban on Pete Rose. But Pete Rose died today without being in the Hall of Fame. You can call Pete Rose whatever you want to call him. 4,000 hits is 4,000 hits. The numbers speak for themselves. And the executive management and commissioner level of Major League Baseball has been literally a 30 to 40 lineage of pussies. Bud Selig, 1994 postseason. We didn't get a World Series that year because the players union and the owners and the commissioners fucked up baseball. Pete Rose never cost me a World Series that I couldn't watch. So, like I said, rest in peace, Charlie Hustle. You can call him any name. He probably deserves a lot of them, but one of them should have been Hall of Famer, and he was denied that because of this situation that, like I said, now we got sports gaming everywhere. We got apps everywhere but Vegas, because we already have gaming. So it's hypocritical and it's sad. So we lost two sports legends today. Dikembe Mutombo at age 58, too young to go. Pete Rose is 83. Once again, I can always say, if you get that 8, 9, or 0, or 1 in front of your name, you've lived a long life. But once again, one thing was left out of that life that I think he should have, and if you wanted to put banned from baseball on his bust in the Hall of Fame, that's fine. But that presentation needed to happen. So, like I said, rest in peace, both of those gentlemen. I need to stop having shows where there are multiple people to announce the passing of. This is, I know it is, the cycle of life is inevitable, but damn, this has been a fucked up week, man. All right, Brad, there you go. I don't know how big into sports you are.
So like I said, I don't follow all that closely. So, but yeah, like he's always far more the expert on that than I am, and actually probably talking about like the what this week has been something that is maybe a little bit adds some a little bit more positivity as far as like the tragedies and whatnot. Is that let me go ahead and pull up his Wikipedia page here. America's favorite ex-president has officially turned 100 years old.
Is he 100? Oh, yeah. He was born on October 1st?
October 1st.
Hey, congratulations. Want to be politics aside, because I know everybody's got different politics. This guy is what in my opinion, every American should aspire to be as they live life and grow old.
Oh, yeah.
See, listen, it doesn't always work out. Things don't always work out, especially when you become a politician. Shit happens. But look at how Jimmy Carter has lived his life. This guy was in his 80s and 88, 89 years old, building houses out in the heat in Georgia. This guy was, Habitat for Humanity. He's just basically, a lot of people, when they retire, when they get out of the office, they just go away. This guy is, up to the day he left office, he was negotiating the release of the hostages. Meeting with world leaders and the peace accords and things. There's a lot that guy. He's a Nobel Prize winner. So, like I said, I mean, there's another guy. You get a 1 in front of your name. I hope he has a lot longer. I hope he lives to be the world's oldest man. Because he's been in hospice care for 2 years now, which is, you know what? Hey, hang around as long as you can. The man is a living inspiration. So yeah, I'm always happy to hear about that guy gets to draw more breath, and then when if he goes,
when he's the first president actually to hit the century mark.
Yep, and I will when I hope it's not anytime soon, but he will be honored on this show. Pete Dikembe, boy, this is a rough fucking dude. Just this last Monday, either personally or celebrity wise, it's been a rough week.
Yeah, well, then that's of course in my situation too. So.
Yeah, and then you got hurricanes, and then a lot of people died in those hurricanes. Like 95 people died in those hurricanes. Shame about Pete's Purpose, man. I don't think they'll make the Hall of Fame exception in a lot of the deaths. If they do, fuck those guys. Fuck them if they don't. Listen, I'm not a Reds fan. I'm not a Phillies fan. Be honest with you, I'm not a Pete Rose fan in general. But right is right and wrong is wrong. If you want to punish him for what he did, that's fine. But you're lying to yourself to say he doesn't belong in the Hall of Fame based on merit alone. It's not the Hall of Boy Scouts. It's the Hall of Fame. He's earned that spot in the Hall of Fame. You can keep him out of baseball. You can never let him in a ballpark. He's been in ballparks, by the way, because they've given him special permission to be there to represent the Reds in the anniversaries and stuff like that. So if you can do that, why didn't you lift this man? Shoeless Joe Jackson too. All right, Shoeless Joe Jackson was banned for life for just knowing about the Black Sox scandal. He didn't even participate in it. He was banned for life. Shoeless Joe Jackson is dead. There is no such thing as an afterlife ban. What do they ban his ghost? He's been dead for fucking decades, and he's still not allowed. His stats put him there. Even if you don't want to put him in the Hall of Fame necessarily, why is he banned from baseball? Are you afraid somebody's going to do a seance and bring him back and he's going to do some evil? Now, even if baseball, Rob Manfred did today, you know what? His life is over. The ban is over. But even if you posthumously put him in the Hall of Fame, that's a slap in the face. I wanted to hear, as a baseball fan, I wanted to hear his speech. I know what he did. I know what he's admitted to do. 4,000 hits is 4,000 hits. Period. You're making a mockery and a joke out of the Hall of Fame by doing that. Because there are some people that are in the Hall of Fame whose numbers are borderline. There are some people who are in the Hall of Fame who, like I said, are absolute pieces of garbage. Ty Cobb was a piece of shit. Listen to some of the stuff he said when Jackie Robinson, when Major League Baseball was talking about integrating baseball. Look at some of the vulgar thing he said. But as a black man, who he probably wouldn't want to be within 10 feet of me, I recognized his history, his ability. Even though he was doing something that really did hurt the game, because the integration of the game, non-integration of the game, segregation held baseball back. Because look what happened once we got in there. The sport was whole. Ty Cobb tried to be one of the main names to stop that. There's a lot of baseball owners and managers that are in the Hall of Fame that fought desegregation. They're in the Hall of Fame based on what they did as far as their organization goes. Those guys you can make. Bud Selig. There are executives that are getting honored. Those guys did more damage to the game. Not having a World Series for the first time since we didn't lose a World Series while they were fighting wars. We had Ted Williams and guys like that literally flying fighter planes in World War II and in Korea, and we still had World Series going on. But Bud Selig and that clown show cost us a World Series. And several other work stoppages, lockouts, and everything else. Those guys get honored. Those guys get mentioned. Those guys are allowed in baseball parks. So Pete Rose isn't. Like I said, fuck Major League Baseball for that. And now he will never get to undo that. We will never get to undo that. Somebody else is going to have to give him, if they do put him in, which they should do it now. But in the Hall of Fame, and if you lead the Hall of Fame, when they posted that, they got fucking lit up. I mean, when they posted that, I won't even read you the responses of what I put on their Facebook page or what I saw. I didn't post anything, but I knew what was coming. I scrolled down, and they're spitting some venom at the Baseball Hall of Fame, and you know what? They deserve it. You know, Major League Baseball did the same thing. We want to honor the legacy of him, but people were outright saying, fuck you. You can see all the deleted, right? Because they deserve it. Whatever fuck yous Major League Baseball gets today for Pete Rose not being put into the Hall of Fame while he was alive, they deserve it. Does Pete Rose deserve the criticism and the punishment for what he did? Yeah. But now, if you look at him in the totality of the shit that's gone on in baseball since he's been out of it, like I said, I bring up the Houston Astros. As long as the Houston Astros weren't stripped of that title and were allowed to be in the league, the minute that pussy Manfredi said, well, I didn't have any, no, then all right, fine. Everybody you've ever suspended for cheating needs to go back, needs to be allowed in. I don't want Roger Clemens. I don't want Barry Bonds. I don't want any of the guys you suspect of cheating. I don't want them left out because you're hypocritical. You got guys who admitted to being on roids that are going to go in the Hall of Fame because of the perception of what people think about them. It's Hall of Fame is a stats issue, and like I said, they allowed themselves not to do it. Fuck Major League Baseball for that. Fuck the commissioner's office. Decades of fucking for the commissioner's office. That's been a joke since the 80s. But this all started in 1988. And Bart Giamatti, all those guys died before because it was never supposed to be. He was supposed to be able to reapply within 2 years. You know, but once again, that is now, like I said, what are you going to say now? You got gambling everywhere. You got gambling. You got athletes that you would have banned 20 years ago literally doing gaming commercials. Instead of regulating gaming and actually putting rules involved in it to where it didn't have to be done in the back rooms, you guys treated it like it was devil worship. And ultimately, you got to where Pete Rose was at. So, fuck Major League Baseball for that. I love the game of Major League Baseball, but the people who run it are shitworthy. They are shitworthy. Look at what's going on in Oakland. They're letting that happen. They're letting that shitty owner, John Fish. And granted, I'm happy to have a new stadium for anything because I think it adds diversity to our economy. But I would have liked to not have to have it, done at the loss of 57 years of history there because you had an owner dealing in bad faith. Why do you have an owner dealing in bad faith? Because the other owners allow that to happen. Why? And then when you do that, you put a commissioner in. That's basically a yes man. So yeah, baseball needs some help. It's a great game, but wow, there are some motherfuckers that run this sport. So yeah, shame about all that.
I'm gonna see who else is in the chat. I was going to Ruth.
Hold on. He agreed to that ban with the implication because they wanted to end the investigation. Anything he agreed to. It was like a plea. It was never supposed to be forever. Lifetime ban. Whenever you ban somebody for life, it's like parole, things like that. You can reapply. But it wasn't. It was with the understanding that the reapplication would be considered seriously. That's the only reason why he agreed to the ban. He even said if it were to that situation, he would have just let it go to court. And it would have been a lot of hearsay at that point. So yeah. Yeah. It doesn't mean much now. It doesn't mean much now. I mean, go ahead. I'm sorry. You were bringing up somebody else's comment.
Yeah, I was going to Ruth. I was going to see Ruth.
Don't drive off the road. I don't know how big of a baseball you are in Britain.
I was going Anthony.
Oh wow, look who's up. You want a link? Old man? Let me know. I'd love to bring you on because, like I said, I stay up and watch your show at 4:35 o'clock in the morning, man. I'm glad to see you around. I know you're probably pumping iron right now, and you have like a hands-free device, but that's all right. Yeah, Pete did live in Vegas. Yeah, he lived in Vegas. He had a game. He didn't have. You know what? People say he had a gambling problem, but he was never broke. I mean, hey. Yeah, 100. Yeah, dude. I'm sorry to hear that. I listen, man. They're taking down the Halloween shit and they're putting up Christmas stuff in places I'm around, and I'm like, it's gonna be 108 degrees tomorrow. Santa's gonna fucking melt out there. It's just depressing. Hello, Droga. Yeah, not a good liquor roll. You go read those responses, Anthony. They're getting burnt up. And like I said, I have no sympathy for them. They look like shit today for this. But I digress. Brad, how are you doing?
Let me see. Drogas. Where was his comment here? Real quick? Droga. I just thought I'd say real quick. We're sort of Snyderverse saying we'll be in live action.
Okay, did I miss something?
No, I just said that because I just poking fun at.
Oh, just making with him so that he'll go ahead and post his. It's never happening post, and we can go back. Yeah.
I might do. Yeah, and also attack onto that. The raid is awesome. Life after fighting is awesome. Somebody tell me when Ghana Path is going to be on DVD or streaming.
And if you new viewers know with any of that match, you're
they a lot of
maybe you'll get to double digits, Brad, when you do these things. I think disaster movie's still beating Life.
Yeah, it breaks my heart inside that anyone could actually be proud of that distinction.
The numbers are what they are, man.
I just
work here.
The idea that you're actually proud of that. I mean, just repeat that to yourself that you're proud of we got views on disaster movie. Just think about that when you're staring at the ceiling tonight.
I'm going to play devil's advocate. Those gambling centers for fans, other players and coaches. One NBA player was recently banned for life. I know the NFL has some issues with it as well. They do, but there are certain guidelines in place where you can't bet on it. There's certain things you can't do. They are active players. So I think it's different. But once again, there was nothing collectively bargained when Pete Rose was railroaded for it, or addressed with it. So now they have it. There are certain things that these guys bet. I mean, these players bet. But there were the NBA player. There were certain. I think he bet on his actual team, and he may have been actually fixing games. They had enough evidence for him. They didn't see that kind of evidence. If they could have come up with evidence that Pete Rose was fixing games. Because you can't say, well, you bet on games he played on. Okay, so a lot of degenerate gamblers do that. Do you have evidence that he fixed baseball? You have evidence that the Astros did. You let them keep those rings. You let them call themselves World Series champions. So you had absolute evidence and proof and testimony enough to where you hammered them. You slightly hammered them. You didn't have that for Pete Rose. Jose Altuve is still playing baseball at a high level. Pete Rose was bad. You had a quarter of the evidence against Pete Rose that you had against. I mean, you had more evidence to ban Jose Altuve for at least 3 to 5 years than you ever did to ban Pete Rose for as long as you did. So, yeah, that fuck him. Yeah, and you know what happened? It made up for baseball at losing 1994. Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa. And baseball knew that those guys were doing stuff. They knew that their players were roided up. They knew their pitchers were roided up. They didn't care because it was bringing ratings. And all of a sudden now, we're gonna have to start coming up with rules now. Nobody got punished. Nobody really got punished for that. The owners didn't get punished for that. You think the Cubs and the St. Louis owners, they were raking in the bucks for that series. 1998 helped bring baseball back from the brink after that strike. They didn't care. Like I said, the major league executive management and commissioner's office and Major League Baseball as a whole is the worst, man. It's the worst. Happy predated birthday, Azteca. Yep, 38 days Halloween. Yeah, we got to start. We got to set up the weekend. I got a lot of stuff doing comic book wise at the store, but we got to do some shit on Friday night. We got to start watching some horror movies on Friday night. I'm gonna start putting up polls and shit like that. Like instead of having a TGIF, we're gonna have horror. Yeah, they got it's horror. TGIH, they got it's horror.
And like it will not be.
No, it's gonna actually be. We're not doing. We're done doing non-science fiction horror movies for a while.
We're done doing bad stuff. We're doing bad stuff.
I really want to stick to science fiction horror. because that's the brand. I mean, that's the
Well, yeah,
brand.
but people are going to try to find a way to cheat and say, "Well, this is spoofing sci-fi." And
no spoof. But actually, it's still legit stuff for a while. Because what we've done, like I said, we had our fun with it. But like I said, you can only do things for so long before it starts to deteriorate. The brand of science fiction, fantasy, horror, comics, and such. That's what we talk about. So we're going to try to keep it. And this is the month to do it. This is the month to stick to our little roles. So, hello, nerd, essay Nostra. Yeah, October 11th is the last hot day. October 12th should be according, like I said, but they told me that Saturday wasn't going to be 100 degrees. And wow, was that the right call? Moving that show inside. Holy shit! Because I remember when the show was over and I looked at the temperature. It was 98 at like 11 o'clock, dude. So yeah. Hold on for a second. I'm gonna do this real quick. Anthony, check your inbox. If you're not pumping iron, if you're not getting all oiled up, and going full on muscle bound. And like I said, I was worried about Anthony over the weekend because his Bulldogs lost.
He's also in Atlanta, so he's
I'm not. I don't care about
what I'm going through now too.
The Georgia Bulldogs losing is more important to Georgians right now.
No, anybody who's
I'm just kidding. Yeah,
last couple of days that power race,
or without lives, I mean, they a lot of people, almost 100 people. Oof. It's hurricane.
No, again, I did not think it was going to be anywhere this bad because just the maps they were showing just really showed it going. We're here and it was going this way. So.
I never really could come up with an opinion for that. I hear from the players that there was a grip issue, but I didn't go beyond that. Also, there was a new trailer out. The Nosferatu trailer came out. I think we're going to watch that. Houston Cheaters. Fuck those guys. Global Gym, Dodgeball, ACS in the house. Dodgeball. I used to play that as a kid. Man, them big red balls that used to make that bouncing sound when they hit your skull. How you doing, Ozzy? Yeah, I don't know what's going on, man. This weather is just relentless. Yeah, they always come back. Like I said, the roller coaster of emotions that ACS must have been coming through. I want to see the walls in his house during that game because I know there's got to be some big fist holes going through. The hat wasn't on backwards. He probably threw the hat across the room. The dogs, all the pets were probably like, "Oh shit, Dad's gone crazy." The kids are like, "Oh fuck, let's leave Daddy alone because it's 28 or 21 zip." And then they went ahead and it was 28-21. And it was like that last quarter of that game was like I didn't know what the hell I was watching. Oh, here he is. What's up, man?
Hey, what's up, y'all?
Hey, I was legit worried about you, man. I was gonna send some people out there.
Hey, man, Kirby didn't have them boys ready to play that first half, and by the time the second half, when they started coming back, it was a bit too late. But yeah, it was a terrific game, though. I mean, if you care about some good football, but yeah, that shit's up.
Well, at least you have what you have in SEC is that you have the SEC championship game. You're going to meet for the most part, unless something disastrous happened, you're going to meet again. And it with so many teams getting in, it did. Now, if this would have happened like 10, 15 years ago, or BCS time, it's over with.
Yeah, you're done. Yeah.
And that was the worst feeling. But now we got like 80 teams getting in. So
12 teams, you got plenty of chances. If it's we still got a hard schedule left, but either the SEC championship or we should make the 12-team playoff. Consider we don't lose no more games for the rest of the season. But we still got a chance. But Brad, did it hit y'all hard down there?
Second?
Did it hit y'all hard down there?
Yeah, a lot more so than I thought it would. It was like it sounds like Atlanta didn't take that much of a hit.
No, I work third shift because I'm at work now. But Thursday, when I got up finally in the evening to get ready, they had the message saying they shut everything down, schools, work, everything, restaurants, and it didn't even barely rain.
Okay, I know one organization
Oh,
or
man.
one line of businesses that probably didn't get shut down because nothing shut. Were the strip clubs open? Because
Oh, I
Atlanta,
don't know, man. I don't necessarily stay in Atlanta. But yeah, I'm like outside of Atlanta. But yeah, I don't know about the strip clubs, man. They
yeah,
probably were still open though.
yeah, they're still
Yeah,
open.
the estimate last estimate I heard was as far as down here for like full power restoration is 10 o'clock tomorrow night. So that's again other than setting up generators. Like I mean I
Mhm.
go outside right now. It's like me. I mean I hear you like it's a whole like chorus of generators going right now. Um,
Oh,
but other than that, it's like people not if you didn't have that, you're going like the last 5 days without power. So
yeah, yeah. Yeah, but it was headed like if you looked at any radar the whole day leading up to it, it looked like it was coming straight for us, and then it just turned like right before it got here, and we got rain, a bunch of rain, but that's about it, man.
Yeah, you
for
They
guys
didn't
are.
even
towards
need to
us, I
shut
guess.
anything. They didn't even need to shut anything down. Like in my town, they didn't might as well not have because there was nothing that happened from that would warrant like shutting everything down. But they get ever since that we had the blizzard. What was that? 2014? Was it 14? The what I'm talking about the
Yeah,
ice storm.
Yeah, I think that might have been
2014.
it. Yeah.
Was it North Georgia? Yeah, they did. They got warnings, and because I remember I had got out of the military and I was going to school at the time, and I was in class, and they were like, there've been warnings that the weather's going that there's ice coming, and they waited too long to shut everything down. And there was kids like I remember it took me 2 hours to get 5 minutes to pick my son up from school. Just driving, there were school buses sliding off the road with full of kids because they just waited too late to shut everything down. And by the time they did it, everything was iced over, snow was everywhere, and it was terrible. So now you can breathe a hurricane, and they're like, shut it down, because they're scared about that shit happening again.
Hey, err on the side of caution, man. This weather the last year and a half has just been. I've never seen anything like this in my life. All over the world, it's just been crazy.
Yeah.
So we had to wait. Like I said, it's 108 degrees here. We're holding it. We're literally in October right now. October when it's supposed to be around 88.
Yeah.
Fucked up my life. And then prior to that, I had the deluge of rain that fucked up about every weekend from
Mhm.
September all the way up till about April. So yeah, I don't know what's going on with it. And the weather people are like, they're clueless now. It's like I could be up there drawing stuff on the screen because they're as
They're
befuddled as I am. They're like, we don't know
they
what the hell
throwing
to tell
stuff
you.
at the wall like that. What's that movie where uh, they were throwing shit at the wall to see what stick for news? That's what they're doing with the weather, man. They don't know what's gonna happen,
Yeah,
man.
Yeah. Are you doing a show this morning? So when you get off, you gonna be doing a show?
No, not tomorrow. No, Wednesday morning. Wednesday morning. Yeah, not tomorrow.
Okay.
I got a couple things to take care of in the morning when I get off because I get up at like 6 a.m. Now, I just want to hop on here real quick though, man. Hey, real talk about Pete Rose, man. Waited too damn long. That shit that happened with him was old. Yeah, you can feel what you want. Gambling on the stuff. You ain't supposed to do it. You ain't supposed to do it. But he should have been in the hall. But if you look at all the sports, man, look how long it took Terrell Owens to get in the damn Hall of Fame because they held against him, had his attitude and off the field stuff, which they ain't supposed to hold against you
Yeah.
when it comes time for the Hall of Fame. It is strictly on field, on court, on whatever accomplishments, and literally that off the unless you was out there murdering folks, like
Um,
the off the field stuff should be sort of. Are you talking about Ray Lewis?
Ray was, on trial. Granted, he got to quit. He had to plea out of that stuff. But you know what? I mean, here's the
I
thing,
think
though.
Ray did like Chris Carter. Chris Carter. When he got kicked off of ESPN, he had that room full of kids that was about to get drafted in the NFL, and he gave me something. Give y'all some advice. You need to find you a fall guy, man. Somebody to take the fall. So he got in trouble for that. But that's and Ray Lewis probably had himself one of them old fall guys because that shit was a little bit too weird down there. When that took place in Atlanta, that whole situation was just weird.
Well, and you have, like I said, a lot of people think the juice, OJ, but you know what? 2,000 yards. How many 2,000 yards? His numbers are in. His numbers are in. So it's like I said, the Astros once again. No matter how you feel about them, if you let the Astros slide like that, then everybody that you penalize for cheating should get a mulligan. They should get a pardon. Everybody that you've held, Roger Clemens should get more. He should get 7 or 8 more years of eligibility.
Yep.
All those guys who got robbed of the eligibility, it was Roger Clemens and it was a couple other guys. Mark, all those guys, all those guys that you've kept out because baseball was this pure sport, then they need to get their eligibility back. So yeah, I'm really angry about this. Like I said, that he passed away without being able to give that speech.
I just want to give you a heads up on that.
Okay.
So,
Okay. I got it.
you know,
Okay. All right. I appreciate it. I'll take a look at it. Thank you. All right. They got busy up in here, man.
All right, man. Well, I'll let you get back to. I know you love being around weights and people pumping iron and.
Hey, I appreciate the invite, man. I appreciate it. I always try to check y'all out, man, when I'm working. I can't always comment because it's 3:30 a.m. is when it starts getting kicking in here when people start loading off in before work and stuff. But all right, y'all. Hey, man, y'all take it easy, man.
All right, man. I'll chime in on your next show.
All right, bro. Take it easy.
All right, see you later.
Yeah.
All right, that was nice. Like I said, we never get a chance because our schedules are diametrically just opposed and weird. So when he's on,
It'd be great to have him drop in for like one of these like a Halloween watch parties you're talking about.
Yeah, it all depends on what his days off and everything else goes. I said I'd love to have some people on. So hey, let's get demonetized. Let's see if I can find this.
Did we get any trailers drop or something?
Nosferatu. Yep.
Oh, okay. Let's get demonetized. I love that lead in for it.
Let me find it's a focus film. So here we go. Oops.
By the way, some people in the community have actually gotten the chance to see Joker 2.
I had a chance to see it. I just didn't. They had Meg saw it. I think Scott saw it.
Scott saw it. Campy apparently saw it. He is now this.
I saw.
There is no way he can be serious about this. For anybody who hasn't seen Campia, John Campia has said he thinks it's the worst movie of this year. Okay. Yeah. Guys,
I
first of all,
people say it to me. I listen. Me and him don't agree on movies, so I'm going to go.
Oh yeah, very seldom. So but which is really weird because he's as big on Man of Steel as I am. Okay. First of all, I think we just need to retire. It's so easy to fall into hyperbole when discussing like these big anticipated blockbusters, but also in a year when Madam Web has been released, there's no possible way Joker 2 could be worse.
Madam Web wasn't even the worst movie of the year,
but it's bad.
Yeah, I mean, if we could go through the list of the year, there's probably been a lot of bad movies released. So
yeah.
All right, here we go.
You'll see in a few days here. All right.
Come to me. Come to me. I've never shared my secret with any soul.
You've had these spells since childhood. Tell me what you can from the beginning.
It is like a dream. It was our wedding. When we turned around, everyone was dead. The stench of their bodies was horrible. Standing before me was death. But I had never been so happy.
This creature is a force more powerful than evil. Its desire is to consume all life on Earth.
Only you can redeem us. He is coming.
There is a devil in this world, and I have met him.
But you could never please me as he could.
I'm ready.
Wow, that is not when I think of Christmas. A blood-sucking vampire is not what comes to mind. But I'll take this movie whenever I can get it. I wish they would have got it done 2 years ago when it was
Why is it coming out for Christmas instead of for
because
Halloween?
it's Oscar worthy.
Yeah.
Because they want to put it closer to it's because it's ready now, but they want to put it those Christmas Day movies. That's a big influencer when it comes to Oscar worthy, and this movie looks like it could be up there. If you've ever watched, and I've watched every second of the original Nosferatu, that hand coming over the city is something that happens, and there's a lot of the cinematography that they've modernized. That if you know and familiar with the 1920 F.W. Murnau's original movie, you'll know that a lot of those angles and a lot of the things that they're doing that Robert Eggers is using that thing. I love the way that they show you very little of the vampire in this movie. All you see is his eyes, and you see his hand, and you see his silhouette, but you don't really see, him that much in the trailer. So they're building up to that one. So I've been looking forward to this movie for a very long time, years now, and now it's finally here. I'm ready to go see it. Christmas Day. I'm like I said, it's just not the most festive time for rats and plague rats and murder and the undead. But hey, I guess if you're a horror and science fiction fan like I am, every day is the day. I know we're going to be promoting this, so I hope I don't want to wait till the day to see it. I want to see this as soon as I can, and I want to celebrate this because this is Nosferatu is one of my favorite all-time horror movies, and it's always a risk when something is that ingrained into theatrical culture as Nosferatu is. Even people who have not seen the movie have seen stills from that movie. That movie is very recognizable, whether you've seen it or not. So to take on something like this is a real challenge, and it looks like he's nailed it. Just if I can go just based on that, but it's a trailer, but I got a good feeling about this movie.
Yeah, definitely. It looks. I'm not massively into like the kind of the Nosferatu sort of a corner of the vampire lore, but that definitely looks interesting. So I'll definitely be giving it a look. Again, probably won't be on Christmas Day though, because I can't see a movie in a theater on Christmas Day and not feel like an asshole.
Oh, I can't.
No, I can't. I can't.
I'm like, hey, you guys have jobs because of me. You're welcome. Here's a tip.
Yeah, but you don't have a day off because of me. On the day, I think everybody should have a day off.
Somebody has to run society on days that other people are off. It's just that
maybe like maybe it's like with all this talk about it, maybe that's like the one day we should like switch on AI or something.
Nah. Nosferatu. No, Nosferatu was only a silent movie because we didn't have sound.
Yeah,
that's the only reason. I'm pretty sure FWMRO would have used every tool that was available to him to make a movie. We didn't have sound yet in those movies. It wasn't wired to sound. So no, the 1922 is a silent movie because there was no sound. But that's the only reason. It wasn't supposed to be. It's just what it was. That was just the era. I'm not bringing up any of those comments, Axel, because I'm going to ban that from Sonic from the goddamn. That's so bad. No, I have not. Have you seen The Strain?
No, I haven't. No.
Sorry. Is the stream working? Oh shit! Did we get shut down because of that? Oh no, we're still there. Don't do that to me, man. I thought I got my damn. I've had a good streak. William, would the Wizards have made the 2002 NBA Finals if Jordan didn't? No, that team wasn't good enough. That team just wasn't good enough. Your media shit. Okay, cool. I thought we got yanked again. I'm like, God damn it. Pull up the trailer. I did pull up the trailer. Did you just get here a second?
Yeah.
trailers he talking? You talking about the Nosferatu trailer, right? Okay, all right. So yeah, that's pretty much the day to day. Like I said, those two men passing really struck a chord with me. But like I said, this is the last couple of weeks. I mean, people, it happens in threes. I'm like, no, it happens when it happens. All right. This is 4. This is 5. I mean, we can say 6 people. I mean, Maggie. I mean, we have like 6 right now. Who knows? I mean, but it is. Like I said, it's inevitable. It's inevitable, but it's like, damn. I mean, with Pete Rose, that just aggravated the shit out of me because I knew he was getting up there, but I don't know. We still don't know the cause of death of Pete Rose, but I'm still aggravated. I hate the way Major League Baseball has been run on those issues. And like I said, in the Astros, and yeah, I take it personally because the Astros cheated my Dodgers. And if you're a Yankee fan, the Astros cheated your Yankees in the ALCS. And anybody who played them at Minute Maid Stadium, or whatever the fuck that place is called, and you got ripped off, you have a bone to pick. Baseball is about numbers and stats. You caught them cheating. Alex Cora had to leave the game. AJ Hawk, all those guys had to leave the game. Carlos Beltran had just been hired as a White Sox manager or something like that. He'd been hired as a Mets manager. He had to leave that job. So they all knew they were guilty, but we didn't have enough evidence, so we were afraid of the player union. Fuck them. Ban them and let the players union try to sue you, and then threaten them with an antitrust exemption. There's a lot of stuff you could have done. But we kept Pete Rose out. Wow, we're big and bad. We kept Pete Rose out. We're taking that gambling money, but we're going to keep Pete Rose out. And like I said, it's been, we haven't had in my lifetime, in the time I've been watching Major League Baseball, I do not believe we've had a good commissioner. And I think the Major League I wish the courts would have gotten in 95 and said, you guys if you want to keep your antitrust exemption, you no longer get to hire your commissioner because you guys are 30 shitheads. 31 at the time, 32 shitheads. Wow, I wonder what kind of person you're going to pick for the job. Another shithead. A wuss that you can manipulate. But, like I said, baseball. Love the sport. Hate the way it's ran. Yeah, I have not seen a full-on thing of him. I've only seen, like, glimpses of his eyes and his hand, but let's see. Yeah, he sold the Bobcats. He's got out of baseball. Cricket. I don't know a lot about cricket. Sorry. But I do know it's about stats, though.
And by the way,
All
you guys, if you hadn't seen our show last night, Aaron had the coolest idea ever that I talked about. And just go back and watch the show. I won't subject William to me having to pull it up again. You know what? Fuck that. I'm pulling that up again because it is this like, somebody please bankroll this. Okay.
We can't even. You see what we can't get bankrolled now? I mean, it's a tough world out there.
Oh, by the way, this is. I guess we could kind of play the trailer for this. This also is music to my ears. But they did put out a trailer for it. John Wick is getting a 10-year anniversary re-release. November. It's a Fathom event, November 3rd, November 6th. So.
Yeah, so you can go pay like $20 to see a movie. You can see it screaming. Those Fathom events are expensive.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I like that they do them, but they're expensive, man. They need to come down on the price, man.
Yeah, I'm pulling this up again because this is so rad. It's like somebody made this happen. How amazing would it be to see all these talented men, Bernard Foster, Scott Adkins, Iko Uwais, and Michael J. White being a team of film together for this film to be directed by the one and only Liam O'Donnell. I'm sure Brad Kerr and Gunkin would enjoy that too. And as you can see, yes, I would. Williams being contrarian because he knows this would like make everybody's brain explode the moment they laid eyes on the trailer for this.
Explode right now.
Yeah,
he did have an ownership. He put his ownership in escrow when he went to go play because you can't be an owner and a player at the same time. So he stepped down from ownership to take on a spot, but he had his ownership, so he was part of the ownership group until he became a player. And then once he left the team, they bought him out.
It's not horror. Do I look like I give a shit that's not horror? I care. That's awesome. that's why I pulled that up.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, you know what? If that was like how they finally made the English language remake of The Raid they were trying to do for the last 12 years, you know what? Yeah, make that happen. Actually, kind of go back to what we were talking about a little bit earlier. I'm kind of noticing, because I was talking about like some of the early reactions to Joker 2. Do you think? I don't know if this is me, but it feels like the marketing has not. It's been a little bit. It's been more muted compared to the first one.
Yeah. And there's not a lot of controversy around this either. Other than
there's that. I mean, but also it doesn't feel like they're pushing it as hard as they did the first one.
Warner Brothers has been guilty of that the last 3 to 4 years, and it's been 5 years since this one was released. So they're marketing. Like I said, look what's happening in Vegas. We didn't get a screening of it. They had fan events on Monday. What the fuck? That doesn't.
Is that how like Meg and Scott like how?
Yeah, that's how they went. They had a fan event where certain places you could go see it early, but it's like, well, that doesn't help. The Tuck rule didn't create 6 Super Bowl injury, but it created one. If they get eliminated by the Raiders during that game, there is no dynasty. In order to get to a dynasty, you have to have the first one. And if they don't win in that game, there's a possibility that Bill Belichick's not even there the next season. Because they didn't win it the next year. So, no, you didn't win. It didn't account for everything that they did, but you can't get to somewhere without the first step. And that was a bump. That should have cost them the game. That game's over if they call that. And if that game's over, the Raiders, who went to the Super Bowl the next year anyway, were most likely gone to the Super Bowl that year. So that game and that talk rule bullshit led to a lot more than just one game being won.
Rebel Wilson just got married. No, congratulations. Rebel Wilson, or as I call her, funny Melissa McCarthy. So, not a McCarthy fan, if you guys weren't already aware. From the Bridesmaids nonsense you put me through a few months ago.
Well, she's in movies I don't go see for the most part, so I don't have an opinion on her.
Yeah,
I mean, I liked her when she was on Saturday Night Live playing the Trump's press secretary, but that's about it.
But anyway, going back to Joker though, I don't know. It's like what like why is there? The only thing I can think of is because Joaquin Phoenix is kind of running some bad press lately with like all this talk about he's just like a movie, like he'll be like a week away from getting started and he'll just say, I changed my mind, I'm bailing out. And
well, it just wasn't promoted. They just did not push to promote. They may not be capable of the widespread promotion that they once were. And this is the kind of movie you have to make that connection with.
You're talking about like financially or just like
financially, and personnel wise, because they did it for the original Joker.
Well, and that's one that, I mean, the management at the time tried to stop from happening altogether, and then they handled that so poorly they got like half of the profit they should have.
Yeah, but even with them that fuck up, they still promoted the fuck out of that movie because I was part of that promotion. There's nothing being done here in Vegas for the promotion, and there's a lot of markets that usually have these type of movies. And nobody cares about what Joaquin Phoenix walked out of. Nobody fucking cares.
He's kind of a oddball.
And he's accepted as being an oddball. And most of the people who were going to see Joker were never going to go see that movie that he walked out on anyway. So
really, you look over like our Joker, most Joker actors, they are a little bit eccentric.
Well, they're eccentric, and they can be because they're usually high-end people. You have a 3-time Academy Award winner playing one in Jack Nicholson. You have even before he won for Joker, he was a multiple-time. He should have been a multiple-time winner, and Joaquin Phoenix. Who's your other big screen Joker?
Jared Leto.
Jared Leto was an Academy Award winner when he got the role.
Has Mark Hamill run any?
I'm talking live action.
Okay. Well, he's still very acclaimed, though.
Yeah, but we're when I talk Batman, I'm not talking animation, simply because when you're talking about Oscar, that eliminates animation right there for the most part, because the Oscars doesn't care about animation. when you're talking about live action, they've all been kind of eccentric, but they have the chops, they have the credibility, they have the resume.
Yeah, you
to-
can
to
see.
be
Well,
that
well,
way.
he, because he, of course, he put the makeup over his mustache. So yeah,
Well, and the reason why, and I know Batman 60s. I mean, I know that was that was a movie, but it wasn't really, it wouldn't count these days. But okay, fine. Cesar Romero was a renowned Mexican actor, though, and Mexican actors of his era were were um were renowned for their mustache. That's a big part. And they asked him to shave it. He said no because he made more money as a Cesar Romero was a big time actor. He wasn't just a Joker. That's what a lot of us Americans know him for. But Cesar Romero was a top tier Mexican actor. So he said no. But yeah, I mean, he wasn't eccentric. He just was, a guy at the time. So that's why. Why does everybody want me to play these crazy trailers? I don't know if I can play the string trailer.
yeah, but I mean,
what the strain? What
again, if this is what they're, I mean, this kind of goes back to like what we're talking about, this the whole state of the studio. Like, if this is how they're handling the rollout for like the sequel to something that was a cultural phenomenon a few years ago. I mean, this doesn't like.
Oh, there's eye torture in this. Oh, dude.
I mean, it doesn't exactly portend well for like the the studio and their what they're currently doing with the IP as a whole. I think we probably would agree.
No, well, because Joker's not considered. They don't see Joker as a movie as the same ilk as what's going on with the mainline IP with DCU and all that. They consider that theatrical. They consider that as one of their movies. That's not a geek thing with them. So Joker is on the same level as Dune for them. Whereas, with James Gunn and with Zack Snyder, that was within a comic book IP, and that's how they treat that. When you're talking about movies like Joker, like Dune, like Barbie, things like that, those have IPs to them, but they are not treating them that way, and they don't promote those movies like they do. They promote them. It's a different division. Like right now, the division that would be promoting Joker is the Warner Brothers Films division. That's not the DC. That's not the budget that they'd be using for James Gunn stuff. So, because nothing that James Gunn's doing is as far as we know, is Oscar worthy as far as that goes. Joker, by virtue of it having won one, is in a different category. So it doesn't give an indication of what they think about the IP. It just gives you an indication of where the old studio in general is, which is even worse.
That's what I mean.
Even worse, actually.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting. I'm not talking about like they consider it an afterthought. I'm talking about just like the studio, as we keep saying. I've got to look up their stock right now because it's like it's why we keep saying on here, guys. It's like this foundation they're trying to build from after all the missteps they've made to try to start DC Studios and James Gunn DCU. It's like you can't overlook that going into this.
No, and I think eventually there's going to be a price to pay. I just don't know if it's going to be enough to derail what they're doing. I don't think it will, but I think it makes it harder. It makes it harder to get behind things. You just don't know where things are going. Who are you following? Like I said, if you're going to follow the DC product, there's nobody to follow. I can follow Scott Snyder because I know he's telling me where we're going.
Yeah, $8.25. That's where they're at right now. So they're up like a
where
whole $1.14. I think it's like a month ago.
Single digits. They're in single digits. So.
You said like you heard analysts say they might like pull off a miracle or something and be like back to like $20.
Back to $20.
By the end of this year. Yeah,
but I also read. Remember that night? I also read the opposing guy, people who say, "Well, we don't think so because that's too much ground to make up." And they pointed out the same thing I pointed out. Where are the revenue generators at? I don't think Joe. I mean, you don't have anything left on here that's going to generate that type of revenue or set you straight. I mean, you're basically waiting till next year to generate any revenue. I mean, and like I said, that doesn't help you now. That doesn't help you stop right now. So,
that's like, I mean, who knows what happens between then and next year is like as far as like revenue and generation and just like the general state of the company and all kinds of other things that can take place in the interim.
Or somebody finds them attractive enough to buy, because right now, I mean, I think I don't know what the long game is. I don't get a sense that there's a long game when it comes to this current administration. I think they are trying to make the company attractive, get it to a certain value, and then get their golden parachute and get out. But
So
right now,
it's
I don't-
ironically.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I just don't know if see, the thing about it is I think the company's way out is to merge with a company, but at the same time, I don't think it's a desirable property anymore. And otherwise, why hasn't it happened already?
Well, yeah, because it's like the paradox of that is like they're trying to make it attractive enough for another merger by making the company more and more unattractive.
Well, and even on its best day during the Zaslav regime, it just hasn't been there. At no point during his regime has this been in a company that anybody has thought that, you know what, we either don't think it's valuable enough or we know that we can wait. So right now, I mean, I think the merger it should happen. I think it eventually will happen. I just don't know what kind of time frame it's going to be, is because you have to want something to actually. I mean, what's in it for the acquiring company? You're acquiring a company. The upside is kind of like not there, and it has a lot of debt. So it's a tough sell to anybody, unless it's somebody who just wants the IPs and can afford to eat the debt. And we've already named it.
It's Apple, Amazon. Those are the big 800-pound gorillas for that.
Yeah, no other company is willing to take that debt. And to be honest with you, the problem with Apple, Amazon, and Microsoft is they already have things that they already have what Warner Brothers would be able to get them. They would be buying things that they could already get, unless those IPs were explicitly something that they wanted. So I don't know. I think that a merger is coming because I don't see a way out of the mountain of debt that is currently hurting. Every dollar that they earn is basically being burdened by debt.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know why I'm showing this trailer. This will probably get us kicked off.
We got super chats. So.
That's really the only reason. So there you go. So
I suppose it's too much to ask to play the VHS Beyond trailer, because that's as far as this weekend, as far as Halloween is concerned, that's my big horror movie I'm looking forward to.
Jesus.
Hold on. Let's go ahead and play it.
I have seen this before.
Ooh.
Oh my God.
The hell are those?
Something new.
This is it. You must contain it.
This is the master's final solution. We're not the farmers. We're the livestock.
I fear no one. There are thousands of them down there. When the time comes, we're gonna need people like you.
Nothing matters more than destroying the master. What are you waiting for?
Okay, sure. Let's see.
Interesting. Is already streaming, or is it?
This is old. This came out last year.
Oh, what? I didn't even come across this. Well, because I mean, I maybe it was, I was thinking because there was talk about Del Toro today, but I might have gotten that confused because he's just doing like a new adaptation of Frankenstein for Netflix, so might have gotten that backwards. Have they even put out a trailer for Sonic 3 yet? I don't think they have.
I'm not paying. I'll refund you the two.
Well, in the meantime, come on, we play the VHS one.
What are we trying to get kicked off the internet today?
Well, you were talking about that a minute ago, and so let's go ahead and get demonetized.
No, we're still on. We're still in the air. So.
Yeah, this is from Shudder's.
You play that, and I can just blame you when we get stripped off.
Oh, just blame me. Yeah, I'm definitely going to be discussing this tonight because it drops on Shudder on Friday, and
oh, wait a minute. So that's what we just watched that.
Watch what? Oh,
Friday.
It's found footage. So why would think you would not be too?
Listen. We watched it in Violent Nature, and I can't unwatch that shitty movie.
Okay.
I mean, I can't. I mean, we can come up with other shit, but why not? If we're gonna show
well, because I'm a big fan of the. I mean, obviously.
Do viewers need to watch the other ones?
No. Well, they're each one is in it.
Okay,
because it's each one is an anthology where they're playing like 20-minute segments and it has a wraparound story, and each one is different. So
I mean, what do you guys think? You guys want to watch this found footage nonsense? Well, we can.
Well, I mean, and listen, I totally get it. It's like, I mean, found footage. It's like it's very much a lever.
We're never watching Cloverfield though.
Okay.
Save your fucking money. Save your fucking
But,
money. I can watch the good parts of Cloverfield on my own. In 6 minutes.
You know, we do the Batman watch, which I told him the other day. It's like we're do the Penguin watch on. We need to watch the Batman. We do that watch party for that.
No, we haven't done. Have we done that? We haven't done the Batman.
No, we haven't. Yeah, we've done it for the Batman. No,
that movie is truly. Every time I watch the Batman, I like it more. There's very few movies that are like I said.
Wait, I told William the other day, saying, the fact that we're doing these watch parties for the Penguin, like, before the show like runs its course, I told him, it's like, we need to do a watch party of the Batman, because it's like because he's very big fan of it, and I like it a lot myself. So, and it's the lead into the show. So before like November 10th, I think is when the Penguin wraps up. So it's like we need to pencil in a watch party for the Batman. But yeah, found footage. Like I said, it's I totally get it. It's love it or hate it, just kind of by the nature of of just the form it takes. So, but the thing I really love about the series is that it's a marriage of two styles. It's found footage and it's also horror anthology. And the thing about it is like, because I was really into the Paranormal Activity franchise when it was ongoing. They kind of went off a cliff towards the end there. Maybe they'll do like a revival at some point. But VHS kind of came along, during like the sort of peak of Paranormal Activity's run, and then it had a little bit of a downturn, and then it made a comeback a few years ago, and now it's like every year it's kind of come like the annual sort of Halloween franchise, albeit now. But this is also, I mean, a sign of the times. It's a streaming release with like limited theatrical runs. But again, that's just a sign of like how much it's the
real quick clarification. Cesar Romero was an American. He was, I mean, his parent, one of his parents was from Spain, his other one from Cuba. So he was representative of the Latin culture. And if you look at his filmography. Yeah, wow, this guy, dude, he was a chief petty officer. He was E7.
You know who would have, if you did like a biopic on him, who would have played him really well would have been Raul Julia. He would have played. He would have been he passed away in '94, but he would have done like great Cesar Romero.
Yeah, this guy did. He started acting in 1933 and acted all the way up till 1993. He passed away. When did he pass away? He passed away in 1993. He was the chief. He was the E7. Dude, that's only like a certain percentage of naval people. When did he serve? World War II. Dude, in the Navy, man, his wide range of screen roles included Latin lovers, historical figures, and costume dramas, and the Joker as Batman. Even in 1975, this man was never going to shave that mustache, but no. But so yeah, there you go. He was actually born. He was actually born in New York City. New York City.
And we go ahead and play the trailer now.
Okay.
By the way, that's a trailer for Gone Path right down here, guys. I'm just saying that because I keep reminding everybody. It's like I so want to know when they're going to put this thing on disc or streaming because I love it. Okay, here we go.
Everything that we thought we knew is called into question. Maybe we're not alone. Maybe our company does not wish us well.
Biggest discovery in human history.
These tapes have to be considered the holy grail.
We all want to put an end to this. Tonight we get our chance.
Just keep filming.
Justin Long. Well, William, you're getting your 3Ds. They're damn sure.
That looks like shit, but hey, we'll watch it. I'm game.
Hmm.
I'm sorry, that looks like shit. It looks like crap, but
No,
you know what?
it's
A lot
gone.
of it's what?
It's gone a path, Clint.
No,
And it's
we're not.
rad. And when we do that watch party, I'll be accepting your apology.
No, I can't see doing that. But
Yeah,
somebody brought up I had something up. What was it? Hold on. What was that one I had up before? I don't think that was necessary, to be honest with you. I mean, we could have, but I don't think it was, because to be honest with you, you don't need to have seen the Batman to really get this going.
it helps, but it's not critical.
I don't even. It might enhance it. It might enhance it, but I think we could go where we were at. We could do the Batman in a couple of weeks and we would be fine, because people who've become acclimated to that environment with the Penguin can now see where it came from. So I don't think there's any particular order, but we could have, but we just didn't. I don't know why we didn't. We just didn't. But I don't think it's. I think we could still do the Batman and still have it be just as well.
But okay, I mean, I guess where we settle on that'll be like our Friday watch party.
Yeah, we can watch that. I mean,
Halloween
listen,
stuff.
Listen. It looks like hot trash,
Yeah.
but it's the season. It's the season. There are going to be some horror movies that we'll probably watch that look like shit, but they're just going to be fun. I'm not saying that movie can't be fun. It looks like shit, but
I have sat at your behest through things that are objectively shit, like spoof.
This is not.
Like,
those are supposed to be jokes. This movie doesn't look like it's meant to be a joke, unless I'm missing it.
Those sell themselves as jokes, but they're bad jokes, and they're
like
jokes
there are
made
certain
by
movies.
There are
There
jokes
are certain
made,
movies that
those,
sell themselves as something seriously, like in a violent nature, and then I watch it and it's like
disaster movie. That's a bad joke told by
well,
somebody
we can't
with
compare
brain damage.
We're not comparing spoofs to actual movies that were intended. Their intent was to be a real movie. It's two different conversations we're having. So, but like I said, I'm watching. Like I said, just because something looks like shit in the trailer doesn't mean it's going to be bad. But yeah, that last scene with that chainsaw scene, that looked like something off of looks like something I could do with paper mache in a chainsaw. But hey,
I love the series, and I love the fact that we get one of these every year now, because it's Bloody Disgusting. Their production wing that they team up with a Shudder for these every year, and and of course this have each, because they're individual segments, they have individual directors, like Justin Long is is writer and director on one of them, and Mike Flanagan actually wrote one of them too. So that looks pretty interesting. There's one in India that I'm looking forward to seeing. By the way, they've also had a couple of spin-offs too. Like anybody who's seen the first VHS will remember the segment at the beginning with the kind of the vampire chick who has the wings and stuff in there. They did a spin-off centered on her non-found footage, but it was a continuation of her segment called Siren, and that I believe actually was partially filmed in Savannah.
Oh, I remember that. I do remember that.
Siren?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was. Look at this right now.
I saw that on Shudder.
Yeah. That's these all. I'm trying to see. I'm looking at the page
one of the many streaming services I have.
Yeah, I got it too. But my subscription actually renews in a couple of days here. See. Yeah, so it was partially filmed in Savannah. But it's one of those things, because we get stuff filmed here. We've had I mean, other than stuff like Forrest Gump that people kind of associate with the or like that, or like a Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil, and we've had some not insignificant like blockbusters, like had at least stuff partially filmed here. Like I think the second Ant-Man did a couple days downtown.
Vince with the joke.
What else did they? William will enjoy this. I know the Birds of Prey almost filmed here.
They almost filmed a real movie, but they decided to film that.
What else did they? Yeah, but I mean the real one, the one, because Georgia is a popular location because of the tax credit. So I mean, like a lot of studios they come here, but the big one, the big location is Atlanta. I mean, it's and like Marvel in particular, they absolutely love Atlanta. I mean, you pick any like MCU movie from like since probably like post Avengers. Just pick anyone at random. I can almost assure you they have at least partially filmed in Atlanta.
Oh yeah, let's watch that. Like I said, I won't torch that movie. It looks like a movie I would just tear apart. I'm not going to do it as bad as I did for In a Violent Nature, because like I said, I have no expectations for VHS. At zero, that trailer lowered them actually. So I won't.
Just ponder that you just said that, and the same stream that you are gloating about the view count for disaster movie. Just think about that. When you're looking back, when you're on your deathbed, looking back over.
Oh yeah, I'm going to be thinking about this shit.
You're looking back over the course of your life and thinking not only did I put Brad through all that BS, but I was actually proud of it.
It wasn't a pride. It's just the math. I told you what math is math. If math doesn't have feeling.
No, but you're it's like you're gonna look back on that. So it's like it's the one time I wish I could have gotten in the ring and like given like math. I should have double teamed math with Brad.
Dude, it's not my fault. More people watch disaster movie than watch.
But it is your fault. You're saying that fact with a smile on your face.
Because you kept telling me that
on your deathbed,
the greatest thing
you are going to be pondering. It's all going to flash back.
You're
going to flash. All light's going to flash for your eyes, and you're going to say, "I actually said that with a smile on my face. I actually said disaster movie had a good view count with a smile on my face."
No, I said it had a better. I said a fact.
But you said a fact about something that
where
terrible.
Is that?
You said a fact about something that terrible with a smile on your face. You said it in a gloaty affirmative way.
All right.
It's like,
guys!
When you come face to face with the man upstairs, you come face to face with him. It's like, I mean, just imagine trying to explain yourself.
Okay, I don't have.
Just ponder that. Just ponder, everybody. Just ponder that William is actually going to one of these days. Is like he's going to be looking back on his life, thinking, "I actually am. I was proud of that. I was proud of that."
Was 160. I mean, did I do it?
No,
it's not like I watched.
I took you off for a second there. So
yeah, I mean 160 to 137.
Again, William, look at the look on your face right now.
You're acting like I did it.
No, but you're proud of it. You're gleeful about it. You're gleeful about.
Man, I don't care.
You are gleeful about an achievement.
What does this have to do with
disaster movie?
With I know is going to be
you are taking a minutia of pride in that.
No, because you're trying to connect it to
one of these days. You are going to have to answer the man upstairs about that. You're going to have to explain yourself about that.
Yes, hey, I saw some shitty. Listen, we're connecting this to VHS. I listen. Life After Friday. I didn't have anything.
Because we're connected to VHS because like again, it's like you're.
That's where the laughter is coming.
You're
from,
being more negative about that than disaster movie.
Well, I saw. Listen, I didn't watch a trailer for. I didn't watch shit for disaster movie until we did it. You showed me a trailer to VHS. I think it looks like shit. Doesn't mean it won't be enjoyable.
But just think about the negativity. The negativity.
What? Okay. No, honesty. Listen. You asked me. It looked like shit. That trailer looked like shit.
But that's beside the point. It's like the point is like
the
negativity you expressed for VHS Beyond is lower or is greater. Is greater in quantity than disaster movie.
No, it's not. I'm talking about what I just saw. Like it looked like I liked it. We're gonna watch it. These movies are fun.
Everybody. It's like William is like he's gonna look back on his life on his deathbed and think like
I don't look back on this weekend, dude. You think I'm gonna be looking back 3 weeks ago?
He's gonna be looking back on that. It's like I actually did that with a smile on my face.
Sure. Let's see.
Let's see. Aaron's going here. Brad, did your mom tell you that? No, she didn't tell me that. Well, she hasn't followed it, to my knowledge. Hasn't followed it since like the initial iteration ended. And by the way, that initial like run or like the initial like from the start to end of All My Children originally, it ran over the course of like 47 years. So it's like, and I'm telling you, it's like she had that on TV, like that was like playing in the living room, like all the time. I mean, I'd say, I couldn't make heads or tails of what the narrative was. All I knew is that the only thing I could think of, I could associate with it when I was like 8 years old was like it's about like people like talking about like family drama, and this one dude with white hair always appears.
That's like every soap opera because they all have that white hair guy. Well, like I said, but Brad's saying that these movies, even though we know no one knows what they are going to draw.
Yes, but and again, it's like William. Listen to the glee in your voice. With that.
It's not
Listen,
glee.
listen to the smile on your face, or look at the smile on your face.
No, this is towards you, not the movie, because you were telling you keep
the
on
fact
telling me
you one
that
of
I'm
these
going to be
days
apologizing.
you actually it's like when you look back on your life, do you want to actually have on your conscience that you said something positive about the disaster movie? It doesn't matter if it's based in fact, based in truth.
Nothing
it's
positive.
observable reality.
Okay, the math is a math. That's not a positive or negative.
It does
no,
but you could ignore the math. You don't even have to bring up the math. You could just say it's like, no, Brad was right. That
every
movie should never watch it.
Every time you tell me that I'm going to be apologizing to you after we watch a certain movie because everybody's going to be watching them, I'm like, dude, we don't know that. We don't know if anybody's going to watch the movies I like.
You could have just all it could have been is like you just could have gotten through that. It's like yeah, Brad, you were right. That is an abomination. It's an abomination against cinema, against storytelling, against
you're creating your own disaster.
The concept of brain cells, and I rubbed that in Brad's face.
Well, we sat through In a Violent Nature. That was a horrible movie,
but it's objectively better than disaster movie by like any by any rational metric.
They both were an absolute complete waste of my time, so it really doesn't matter. But the thing is watching it with a group of people, it doesn't matter what the movie is half the time, because half the time we're not even watching the fucking movie for the most part.
I was going to lie to you.
Texas
Texas
Chainsaw Massacre. You know what? As somebody who saw that as a little kid, it came out the year I was born. But by the time I saw Texas Chainsaw Massacre, people were telling me that you were going to be this movie's going to scare you. Remember the opening of Chainsaw Massacre was like, because it was based on a lot of what Ed Gein had done.
Yeah.
What Ed Gein did was far more terrifying.
Oh yeah, Texas Chainsaw Psycho, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and which might be Psycho. That'd be good for like Halloween watch party too. But Psycho, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and Silence of the Lambs, they all draw upon different aspects of Ed Gein, but they all of them, for as horrifying as they are, it's just like they are PG compared to like the stuff Ed Gein actually did.
Yeah, but Chainsaw Massacre, I laughed at Chainsaw Massacre. I actually laughed at it. I didn't think it was scary at all. I thought it was kind of cheesy. But it's 50th anniversary. It's considered a classic, so who knows? Maybe we don't want to watch that one.
Ed Gein, yeah, he just was. That's all we need to say. Yeah. Like I said, he influenced in different aspects. Psycho, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and Silence of the Lambs, and all of them again. They all are still in terms of like how horrifying what their killer character does. They all pale in comparison to what Ed Gein, what his laundry list of horrifying deeds were. They actually did a movie. They did a movie about Ed Gein. It was called the Ed Gein.
Oh, they've done several movies about Ed Gein.
No, but I mean, like not inspired by like an actual like biopic or like telling the story of him. It was one called Ed Gein, The Butcher Plainfield.
Yeah, that's a very graphic one.
Oh yeah.
Let's see, Ed Gein. I'm just looking it up. In popular culture, Gein's story had a lasting effect on American pop culture, as evidenced by its numerous appearances in film, music, and literature, and widespread public attention. The fictionalized version presented by Robert Bloch in 1965 suspense novel Psycho, in addition to Alfred Hitchcock's 1960 film of Bloch's novel. Gein's story was loosely adapted into numerous films, including Deranged, 1974, and The Light of the Moon, 2000, released in 2000. Ed Gein, Butcher Plainfield, the one you're talking about, 2007. One I will never truly understand, and I looked at this for a little bit, and I got like 10 minutes. Ed Gein, the musical, I know. And Rob Zombie's House of a Thousand Corpses, which is a Rob Zombie classic, and The Devil's Rejects. Buffalo Bill, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Yeah, this guy.
Oh God. Look at his Wikipedia page. I mean, it lists off
it's a lot.
Like when the cops like went into his house and the stuff they found. I mean, look, I can't even. I'm not gonna repeat it. That would probably get us demonetized. Like some of the stuff that's listed.
Oh shit, we've had whole streams on serial killers. I don't know.
I can't even like. This is like stuff you can't even comprehend. Like how absolutely depraved what this dude was doing was.
Ugh. All right. Well, on that note, let's get the hell out of here.
Okay.
now that we sent you off with some nightmare content. All right, I'll be on the air tomorrow. Don't know what we're going to talk about. Hopefully, it's not RIPS and fucking memorials.
Yeah, that'd be good. We'll
Yeah,
talk about Gone
I
Path.
want to wake up. No, I want to wake
We'll
up.
talk about the raid. We'll talk about Gone Path. We'll talk about life after fighting. We'll talk about VHS.
Living, their lives and shit. You and these.
Yeah.
All right, that's it. See you guys tomorrow.
Bye, guys.